Hi, everybody. My name's Amy Hart. It's so good to see you guys. How are you? Wow, what a crazy past couple months of this has been for everybody. I hope that you guys are all staying safe and healthy and taking care of yourself and your beautiful families right now. I know that we go through a lot of good days and bad days. But I'm really so proud, especially being a New Yorker, of how everybody has come together and really committed to staying home and supporting each other through this difficult time. It's been amazing, and it's really hard for New Yorkers. We are constantly on the go, but I have to say I'm so proud of my city. I'm proud of everybody in the world, and this too shall pass. We're getting through it. I'm so excited to be doing my podcast again. I really missed it. I had my show on Fox Sports for many, many years. And I started my career in Las Vegas when UFC just started and Dana White made his breakthrough, and it was really getting big, and they were bringing a lot of women into the picture. And it was an exciting time. And I decided to do my first 4 segments on the powerhouse women in sports. And I'm super excited about this. I have Tracy Cortez on today, and she is a champion in her career and both in her life. She has an incredible story. She has a beautiful journey that she's gone through, and she's really open about talking about her struggles and the things that she's had to do to really perform and grow as an athlete and a person. She's a 7-time champion who previously fought under World Fighting Federation. She has 7 wins under her belt, 7 amazing wins. And she is fighting in the flyweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So I can't wait to tune in with her and talk to her what's been going on. Exciting to see her get in the ring again. She's strong. She's amazing. She's super sexy. So we're going to bring her on in just a minute. You can follow me at Amy Hart Live on Instagram, at Amy Hart Live on Twitter, Facebook, and all my YouTube channels. And stay tuned to more shows that are coming up soon. I'm so happy to be back, you guys. And hang on right for a second. We'll bring her on. Tracy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so sorry. We finally connected.
Yeah, no worries.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Just trying to stay busy, not trying to be bored.
Yeah. Where are you?
Right now I'm home.
Are you in Colorado?
No, I'm in Phoenix. I had to think about it. Like, where am I? I'm so delusional now. Where am I?
I know. I know.
I'm in Phoenix.
So Phoenix has it been hit hard? Because I haven't heard much about that, actually.
No, so it's actually very calm here.
Okay.
What they're telling us to do is just groups less of 10.
Yeah.
Because it's not anything more than 10. We should be fine. And what I'm really doing is I'm kind of just staying with the same, me and a friend.
Yeah.
And some teammates that I train with. We do little circuit training together, and I come back home, and that's it.
And that's it. Yeah. I'm in New York.
Oh.
So I cannot believe how fast and dramatic. Like, I was coming back from Europe for skiing, and it just, like, within a week, it's just like exploded. So I'm not in the city right now. We're outside of the city, but it's a mess here. So it's unbelievable, like, what's happened, like, in the past couple months. Like, you can't believe it. So so you're staying home, and what's going on with your training? Because obviously you've had to make some adjustments with that.
Yeah. I try not to feel like frustrated, because I know everyone's going through it. I'm not the only athlete, that's just at home. So that I mean, not saying that it makes it better, but it just puts everything into a perspective. Like, okay, we could work. I see everybody else working around it, so I could work around it. And I'm just trying to keep a positive attitude, and I'm doing what I can. Running. I call them prison workouts. So it's just jump squats, burpees, jumping lunges, anything I can do. I have a friend that holds mitts for me here, and just whatever I can get in.
You're keeping in the best shape possible. So you're still like going hardcore, just you want to be ready and you're still training hard.
I'm trying. I wouldn't say ready or fight shape because
yeah,
it's just not the same training, but I'm definitely not getting out of shape, you know?
Yeah, because it takes a long time. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yes.
So there's a lot of buzz going on with the UFC right now because you know, they're talking about how, you know, there was supposed to be a fight on April 18th.
Yeah.
To fight 249, and Dana White was like, we're doing it, and then whatever happened, it got canceled. So now I hear again that he's wanting to do it in Florida, and I guess it's somewhere, he's saying somewhere in Florida, and I think it's May 9th. You know, people are really kind of beating him up on this. Like, what is your thought process? Because I mean, we're really in this, there's major global pandemic, and we're trying to come together with collective effort, you know, trying to stop the spread.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I see it both ways, where me as an athlete, I as a fighter, I get paid to perform.
Okay.
So I understand that he's trying to make sure we still get paid. And I really respect that. But I also understand the part that, is this really safe? Is this the best thing to do for the people around us? Because me personally, I'm healthy. I'm young. I know I'll be fine, you know? But for the people around me, I'm not too sure.
Right.
I'm only, you know, and that's the scary thing, where I see both sides and I understand both sides, and I respect both sides.
You do. I mean, that's the thing. It's probably, if you got it, even if you did come in contact, you'd be fine. But we just don't know enough about the virus to know whether you can, you know, carry the antibodies and spread it on to other people. So that's where the fear comes from, right?
Exactly. And I'll be scared to get close to the commission or the referee or even Dana himself. You know, I just it's a sensitive topic, and I think however they go about it, I hope they use the best, you know, precautions, and they're just super careful.
Right. So let's just say that Dana called you and he booked you on this card for this fight, you know, during, like, let's say, you know, in May. Would you be up for the challenge, or would you have to really think about it at this point?
I would definitely think about it, just because I'm not getting the same training in. I wouldn't be in total fight shape. And I personally would love to fight if I had a full camp.
But does anyone really have a full camp right now? I mean,
yeah,
it's the same for everybody, right? Unless we just don't know what's going on.
That's just me personally. I'm not one to say no. So I always leave it up to my coaches and my managers. Like, hey, need me this out. You know, you guys let me know. I'm just, if you believe in me and you think I can get it done, let's go.
You know, I hear what you're saying. Like, there's an athlete in you, you know, and then there's the human being side where you're like, you know, I have to, you know, be concerned about people around me. But
it's hard. It's tricky.
It is tricky. It's a challenging time for everybody. And listen, I'm a total sports girl, so I can't imagine a summer without sports. It's crazy to think about that, right?
Shut down. And there's no baseball, there's no football, I mean, is the draft still going on?
I think everything has come to halt. I mean, my husband and I own a couple minor league teams, baseball teams, and a soccer team that we were supposed to be launching last month. So, I mean, not having opening day baseball, not spring training was cut out. Like, everything is just so strange. So, I mean, it's crazy times, but you know, this is where we are. So, but you know, so in Vegas, they built the Apex Center facility, which is incredible. It's like it's like its own city inside the city. Do you feel like it would be, I mean, they could take precautions and make it a safe place to just create that little community while we're going through all of this? Or do you think we still need to be really careful?
Yeah, you know, I don't see, I fought there for the Kentucky series, and it is a very small, well put together, you know, facility, very well put together. And I really think that's probably my opinion, probably the most safest place because if you think about it, they can disinfect the place, they could clean it up, they could use whatever it is they have to do, because that's their facility.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So I think that would probably be the best place if they do want to have fights, would be at the Apex.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Dana White's very persuasive.
Yeah.
You know what? He's got the power of sports, and he's got a lot of people behind him, and so let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your career. I mean, obviously, I'm super impressed. So proud of everything you've done. I mean, you've just accomplished a lot. I started my sports show on Fox Sports in Vegas when UFC was first starting, and wow. You guys were just getting introduced, into MMA, into UFC, and it was so cool because I just was so impressed with all of these women and their talents coming in, and everything has changed now. Everything has. So, like, in your mind, how has it changed for women? How has it changed, like, for MMA, the sports? How has UFC changed it for all of you?
I think before it was just fun, or I don't know if it was a cool thing for fans to watch females fight.
Right. Kind of a sexy thing. I mean,
yeah,
right.
Like appealing to that. I don't know, better than watching guys.
Right.
But I love how on UFC social media page with Joanna and the current champ, how they said the best female fight ever, UFC female fight ever. So I could be saying it wrong, but it was along that, the best female fight ever in history. And within hours, they crossed off the female part, and they took the gender off. Like, this is just the best fight in UFC history, period.
Wow.
And to me, that was just a huge accomplishment.
That's incredible.
That's amazing. For as a female to be seen as, especially in a male sport,
male dominant sport. Yeah.
Now us females are really competing and performing better than the guys are. You perform at a top level, but you also train. I mean, you guys, nobody works harder. You guys train so hard. You're so committed. And I think watching you guys fight is way more exciting for me. I honestly do, because I just think it's incredible that you've broken that ceiling and you guys are on top now. So do you feel like the women are getting, I mean, we go into the financial part of it a little bit. Do you think they're getting paid what they should at this point? No. Okay. I don't think I still don't think that females are getting paid fairly. Yeah. But it just takes one person, to break that chain. And I think that was the first step, is showing, hey, this was just the best fight. It don't matter if it was female, male. It's just an amazing performance.
That's incredible.
I think that was the first step. And, and there's going to be a lot more, but it's time. The time will come where we get paid just as equally or fairly, for our performance.
I agree. And I'm surprised it hasn't come to that point, because it's been a while, but I think we're closer because people have a lot of respect for you guys and what you're doing. Yeah. So let's talk about when you grew up. So you grew up in a family with brothers, and they were all in wrestling. So I guess you had to be kind of tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know right away that you wanted to go, have your career in MMA fighting? Or did you have any interest in it really when you were younger?
When I was younger, I just wanted to wrestle. I didn't even know about fighting until I was maybe 11, 12. I saw my oldest brother, sparring in a cage and fighting. I was like, oh my God, that looks like fun. And me being the youngest with all guys, like, I just wanted to follow their footsteps. And sure enough, I got into wrestling, and I started doing everything they were doing. And then I got into high school, and, I developed, and I became a young woman, and they're like, no, she's not doing that no more. I wasn't known for a girl to be on the mat or putting gloves on. And so they really, they really isolated me. I was really home a lot. And growing up, I I mean, I wasn't allowed to leave my front yard if it wasn't school. Go come back, don't leave the house.
Protective, right?
Super protective. So this was definitely not something I thought I would be doing for a living.
Was there like a moment that you thought there was like a moment in your life or when you really like, this is really something that I want to do, like when it shifted like that?
I was very committed before my mom passed away.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't even pro. I stopped fighting after my mom passed away. I stopped fighting for about a year and a couple months. And I didn't want to go pro. I didn't want to fight. I literally got back in the gym just to release stress,
Yeah, right. Of course.
And they said, hey, no one wants to fight you amateur. And I was like, let's like F it, let's go pro. And even then I didn't want to go pro and I lost my pro debut. And then I was really depressed. I was like, oh my God, I'm not good enough, and that I don't know what, something hit me where I got this mentality where, what, I've been through the worst parts of my life already.
Yeah.
That this little loss is not going to define me.
Yeah.
And I just kept fighting. And I mean, I dedicated hard. I isolated myself and I just dedicated my life to fighting and training. And I was training, coming back home, training, coming back home. I was still working at the time. I was doing so much. And I realized just one day, like, man, this is something I'm really going for.
So that was the moment. This is really happening.
Yeah, I was so scared. Oh my God.
I'm sure.
I was putting everything on the line and I was just terrified.
You talk openly and passionately about your life journey and your struggles, and I think it's really, but you don't let them define you, and I think that's really incredible for other women to hear too.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, obviously your mom and your brother both died of cancer, and you were dealing with that at the same time, which is a tremendous amount of stress. Yeah. But you took that and you used it as a tool to like fuel the fire inside. And I just want to tell you that I really appreciate that and I can relate to that.
Thank you.
And yeah, that it was really amazing. Do you think that helped you just keep plowing through because you had those, you had that one really devastating loss and then you just had 7 wins straight on?
It's been hard, my coach talks to me all the time and he kind of reminds me because I put a lot of pressure on myself and I was like, no, I can't. And he just reminds me like, hey, you've been through this and you went through it and no one did it but you. And God, I love my coach.
You have a good relationship with him.
Yes. He's grown to be father-like, and that's something that I've needed, and his guidance has definitely got me where I'm at right now. Amazing. So I'm very grateful for the people in my life that have, I wasn't a big believer in you are who you hang out with.
Yeah.
And now I am. I keep trying to connect with just people that are better than me because then I know I could reach that point.
Yeah, you have to have your tribe for sure. You've got to find people because I think when you, especially in something that you're doing, it's a lot of pressure and you need to have people around you that are going to constantly support you.
Yeah.
And be honest with you, right? About what you're doing.
Yeah. So I'm really grateful because if I didn't have my coach and my brother's, support, I don't think I'll be where I'm at right now.
Right. And it's also really hard just because it's a mind game to when you have a devastating fight like that to just pick yourself back up and be like, I'm still going to do this. I'm going to get out there. You know, some people can't come back from that. And you came back with like fire in your heart and you like just kicked butt. Yeah. And the most incredible like fight was with Maria Agapova. Am I saying her name right?
I don't know. I know it's Myra. So yeah.
Everyone says it differently if you're depending on what country they're from.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, and I mean, you had, you know, another fight after that, but still, that seemed like a really important fight for you for so many reasons. And you just went in there and you just did it. Like, can you tell me like how that fight changed something inside you and your confidence and what it did for you?
Literally talking about it gives me the chills. Like I have the chills right now.
Yeah, I know. I could just tell by your interviews. Like I was like, this is something that was really a big moment for her.
Yeah, and I just, that fight, I knew the world was gonna watch. I knew that was my first time people knowing my story, and me, I have, like, I don't play the victim. I just really want people to know, hey, you could overcome this. You know, there's a better day tomorrow. And I'm just very passionate about that. And having, I just feel like if I keep pursuing this dream that I have and this vision that I know where I'm going to be or where I'm destined to be, I can give my family a better future. And that's what drives me, honestly.
There was one interview I watched where you talked about that you weren't a role model, which I completely disagree because you are a role model. Because I think the life experiences that you have make you who you are. And sometimes when you have difficult life experiences, you can come out stronger and you can look back and be like, wow, you know, I went through this, but I can make it. But you talked about that not to view it as weakness. Like it's something inside of you that keeps you going. And we need to hear that, all of us, because we're all going through that and people look up to you. So
thank you.
I think that's really cool. So that was a big fight. Then you're now you got signed with UFC and you had another fight with Vanessa, right?
Yes.
That was your
Mello. Vanessa Mello.
Yeah. And okay, so I want to talk a little bit about this because a lot of the viewers, I don't think they understand how absolute it is to meet your weight requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a little drama with that. I mean, it's 0.5. You weighed in at 136, right? 0.5.
Yes.
Yeah. And you were over 0.5. Like that seems so crazy to me. How do you get your weight so perfectly precise? I know so many people have this question.
It's honestly just okay. So it's been this has been a journey for me. So last year for the Contender Series with I can't say her name.
Which one? I don't know which one we're talking about.
For the Contender Series.
Maria.
Yes.
Pablo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
2.5, maybe I don't want to say 3, but about 2.5 weeks out of the weigh-ins, I had a nutritionist that kind of just bailed on me. So I had to do the diet all on my own. It was about 3 weeks out, and I was not. The weight it was not a good weight cut, and I think everybody saw. Oh my God, there's a fly. It was not a good weight cut, and I think I'm sure 100% everybody saw that. I was, again, I'm a determined person. I don't quit, and I made the weight. You know, I cut a lot of weight to make 125 for the Contender Series, and then that happened. I had what you call a bounce back. The bounce back was awful. Which is where my body, I mean, I can't explain it like to the T, but
right.
The best way I could explain it is my body did not like how bad I dehydrated myself within a matter of 48 hours, and I gained double my weight.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it was awful. And so we did the fight in Brazil, my UFC debut, at 135. So I moved up a weight class.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I moved up a weight class, and that was the longest trip I've ever had. Ever. I mean, the longest trip I've ever had previously to that was probably maybe like a 4-hour flight. This was a whole,
Brazil.
yeah, far.
Yeah.
And I was drinking water and there wasn't no saunas. And so this is my first time experiencing everything. And again, I had trouble cutting that weight because of the flight. And I'm not giving excuses, but
yeah, right.
I still made the weight, or I'm sorry, I should say, I was cutting weight. They said, "Hey, Tracy, weigh-ins is going on after noon, 12 o'clock in Brazil is about to hit. You have to step on the scale." They brought the scale to the top of where we were at, weighed ourselves, me and the girl, and then they took the scale back down. And I don't know if they didn't balance it out or something, but we were both off by 0.5.
Yeah, you both were. I know, that was so interesting. So I was like,
and then we couldn't believe it. We're like, what? No way. And I remember going to my room and I was so upset at myself. So disappointed. Like, how unprofessional. And then I got a letter by the commission saying, hey, the scale was off by 0.5 pounds. This and that. You made the weight 135 on the dot.
Oh, sorry, 136. My God, what a relief.
Yeah. And it was very hectic for being my UFC debut. It was really hectic.
Is it always like that, or are you always just just so precise and you have to be so careful, or was it just a little more stressful because it was traveling and all that other stuff?
I mean, a lot of my fights aren't in town. A lot of them are out of town, but that was my first flight out of the country.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
For a fight, and that plays a part in it. But still, I hold myself accountable. I'm a professional athlete, and I should be more prepared for things like
hard
that.
On yourself. But I understand you have to be, because you have to be very disciplined in the sport.
There's no excuse in this game, everyone's doing it, so and I'm not an exception. That's how I see it.
So like, if you had your choice right now, what would happen? Who would you fight?
Who would I fight? I don't know. I honestly don't know yet. Because of the whole weight situation, I had this horrible bounce back, and I'm working with the people in the UFCPI to get everything back to normal, because my hormones are not okay. My metabolism is just messed up. So we're really trying hard to get me back healthy.
Yeah, right.
I'm not healthy right now. So that's a priority first, and that's what I'm trying to get done before I even think about it. I just want to get my body back to normal.
So you're just waiting, you're getting yourself back together, and then you're just waiting, and then you'll start working for another fight then.
Yeah.
Maybe who knows what's happening right now, but
exactly. So I'll talk to once I feel because I'm getting tests done, blood work and things like that, and once just my body gets back to normal, I'll talk to my managers and we'll go from there. Start talking about it.
So, I mean, a lot of people talk about how pretty you are, and they do, and sort of a little sex symbol, like, on your post and just in general who you are. But I also heard an interview that, I think it's amazing, because I don't think you should be one way. Like, I don't think you have to be masculine, and you can't use your feminine side, especially in the sport. But you talked about how important it is for girls to understand that, and being yourself and respecting yourself. Yeah. Can you elaborate on that a little bit with us?
It goes back to when I was fighting for Invicta. A lot of the girls, and there's nothing wrong with it, dress as comfortable as you wish. Me personally, I like to look cute. That's my time to shine. I dress I'm in gym clothes 24/7, hair busted, no makeup. So the time that I do get to be in front of a camera and look pretty, I'm gonna take advantage of it, And I got teased on. I didn't get, people didn't take me serious because I was pretty, and I proved them wrong.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did, girl. I love that.
I love when females come together and we're able to show you. there's more than just us fighting. We're females, and don't disrespect us, and don't
Yeah, there
just
was a
because I'm
quote
pretty
that
doesn't mean, just because there's a pretty face does not mean you cannot take a pretty face serious, or she doesn't know how to throw down. Like, just because we're females doesn't make us less capable of doing anything, you know?
anything.
So
There was something, I think you tweeted it or something, which I loved. I'm just attention to detail. So you said, when you know yourself, you're empowered. When you accept yourself, you're invincible. I love that one.
I
That's
love that.
great. And those are words to live by.
Yeah,
Sure.
100%. That's, you know, when you accept yourself, nothing could hurt you. Like, oh, that's your opinion of me. Okay, cool. Bye.
Whatever. Yeah. So when you're, I always ask this question because everybody deals with it differently. When you're getting right before a fight and you're coming out and you're ready to go in, what is your thought process? What do you do to like zen yourself and like prepare yourself for the moment?
I it's gonna sound crazy. I blink out. I don't think
You?
about nothing. Literally nothing crosses my mind. I'm focused. I'm thinking about my head movement. I'm thinking about make sure I throw my punch straight. Um, footwork. I make sure I'm breathing correctly. It's after the fight that every emotion just goes down on me, and I sit down and
Yeah.
I'm a big baby. I just cry. My brother holds me. He's like, "Hey, you did it. It's okay," you know.
Uh,
But yeah, before a fight, I'm so focused and just zoned in. I
so
don't really.
fear doesn't come in. You just make sure you keep it out when you're walking in, getting ready.
I'm definitely scared. I definitely go in there with fear because um last thing I want to do is disappoint those around me. So I think fear is going in there with fear, but confident is good.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit of a motivator just so it doesn't take over, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
was there anybody when you like were going through your career that you watched that you were just like, God, she's incredible. Like you can
Um,
think of kind of your mentor or somebody you looked up to?
no.
No.
No, this sounds awful.
I love that.
I'm just no, I get asked that a lot. Like, oh, what female do you look up to?
Yeah.
I honestly don't. Not many. uh, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful
No,
way.
yeah, I get
I just
it. Like,
I don't. I think we're all humans, and
yeah,
I take a little bit out of everything. I see someone's work ethic. I'm like, oh, you know what? I can do that too. Or I see
yeah.
someone reading a book or analyzing a fight, or like I take pieces of everybody, and I make it my own. But I mean, the only person I could say I really idolize and look up to would be my big brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say that's amazing. Yeah.
That's
And
my
what did I mean, you highlighted him as your brother, but was there something like his skill set that was really just incredible? Like,
he was, he had a huge work ethic. He was so strong-minded. Um, he could have been he would have been a champion, if he was alive. I truly believe that. And there's a video on YouTube with him fighting an ex UFC fighter. His name's Drew Fickett.
yeah,
And you can see that fight. He looks tired and fatigued. And I remember that day we were in like I believe it was Flagstaff or Prescott, somewhere up north, and we're like, why is he so tired? Oh my God, he never gets tired. Like he's a cardio machine.
yeah.
And he got X-rays the following week, and he fought with
Ugh,
a grapefruit-sized tumor in his heart.
you had no
So how
idea.
much more stronger? I mean, that's just, and you still went through it, and you still won.
That's incredible.
This,
And
so
that's probably something that you look at and you're like, whenever you're having a difficult time and you're like,
100%.
I can
Yeah,
get through this,
yeah.
I can do this. It's
I see
amazing.
what my brother went through, and I see what my mom went through, and I'm just like, Tracy, stop being a baby. Like life is so much worse.
Yeah, but you're really tough, and I really admire what you do, and I'm watching out for you, girl. I want you to have the championship belt. I want you to go all the way. That would be amazing. Is that still, are you still feeling the fire inside and that's what you want to do?
Yes, 100%. I had big goals this year. You know, I had a vision board and I had plans, and though because of this whole Corona thing going on, it really put everything to just a stop. And I got frustrated at first. I was really frustrated.
Yeah.
But there's good, you know, there's always something positive or something good that comes out of a bad situation. So I think that there is good coming out of this. As nasty as it looks right now, I truly do believe that something good is going to come out of this, and I'm just going to have to keep a positive mindset.
I think it's interesting that we're all at a standstill collectively around the world.
Yeah.
And there's something pretty magical about that in terms of we're all on the same level. We're going through the same thing regardless of who we are, where we live, or and I think that energetically we can create something great in the future.
100%. I really believe it too.
Well, where can we find you on Instagram, Twitter? Keep up on what's going on with you.
Yeah, Instagram is just Cortez MMA. Twitter is Tracy Cortez MMA, and same thing with my Facebook fan page, Tracy Cortez MMA. I'm pretty active on every social media platform.
I think right now, I swear the computer, everything's going crazy because everybody's on like 24/7. But there's some good content out there. It's really fun, actually.
And I'm like I'm like, oh my God, what can I do right now? Oh my God, let me do another YouTube video. I haven't done one either.
Or TikTok.
TikTok. I'm obsessed. I'm a full TikTok.
I've seen some of your stuff. It's great. You're so fun. I love it.
Thank you.
Entertaining.
I created a TikTok now. That's great.
So, well, your next fight, I'm going to be there. I love going. I'm for sure. No matter where it is, I will come see you.
Awesome.
I wish you so much luck, and I'm so happy to have you on today. And keep the faith.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, girl. It's so great.
Let's stay healthy. Stay home.
Yeah. You too. Right, see you later. Bye.
A Parkville Media Production.